If you're a fan of meat like I am, you may want to listen closely. You may have heard it before. Too much red meat, processed meats, and unhealthy cooking methods can lead to all sorts of health problems. But did you know that they can contribute to something as serious as a heart attack? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to tell you to completely cut meat from your diet. In fact, when eaten the right way, meat can be part of a healthy lifestyle. But there are a few things you should know that might surprise you, especially if you're consuming meat on a regular basis. So today, I'm going to share with you 5 ways eating meat can trigger a heart attack, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. So, if you're ready to learn how to protect your heart while still enjoying your favorite meat dishes, stay tuned. Let's get started with the first way eating meat could be putting your heart in danger. 1. High saturated fat content in meat. The first way eating meat can increase your heart attack risk is by consuming too much saturated fat. Meat, especially fatty cuts like ribeye steak, pork belly, and lamb chops, is loaded with saturated fat. And what does saturated fat do? It raises your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, which leads to plaque buildup in your arteries. Over time, this increases your risk of a heart attack. So, how do you avoid this? Opt for leaner cuts of meat like chicken breast, turkey, or fish, and don't forget plant-based proteins like beans and lentils. These swaps will lower your saturated fat intake and protect your heart. 2. Processed meat and preservatives. The second culprit? Processed meats. Yep, I'm talking about bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats. These are often packed with preservatives like nitrates and sodium, which have been linked to heart disease and even cancer. Not to mention the excess salt can cause high blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart attacks. To avoid this, try cutting back on processed meats and go for fresh, unprocessed meats instead. And always check the labels for added preservatives and sodium. 3. Excessive meat consumption leading to obesity. It's easy to go overboard, especially with delicious meat dishes. But excessive meat consumption can lead to weight gain and obesity, which is a huge risk factor for heart disease. Avoid this by practicing portion control. A simple rule of thumb is to keep your meat servings to about the size of your palm. And be sure to balance your plate with plenty of veggies and whole grains to keep your calorie intake in check. 4. Harmful compounds in grilled meat. Grilling meat may taste great, but it could be doing more harm than you think. High-temperature cooking methods like grilling, frying, and charring meat can produce harmful compounds called HCAs and PAHs. These have been linked to both cancer and heart disease. So, what's the solution? Try marinating your meat beforehand, which can reduce these harmful compounds, and consider healthier cooking methods like baking or steaming to protect your heart. 5. High sodium levels in meat products. And finally, let's talk about sodium. Many processed meats and even some fresh cuts are packed with sodium, which raises your blood pressure and increases your risk of a heart attack. Even meats you wouldn't expect, like rotisserie chicken, can have added sodium. To avoid this, always look for low-sodium options and season your food with herbs and spices instead of salty marinades or sauces. So there you have it, the 5 ways eating meat can trigger a heart attack, and how to avoid them. Remember, it's not about cutting meat entirely, but making smarter, healthier choices. Your heart will thank you.